We're joined today by Darren Fry with Water Street Solutions. Darren, as we talk about these markets, obviously been trying to wrap our arms around what's really happening here. It's just been so choppy. From your perspective, what do you see?
Well, they are really volatile, like you said, Clinton, and I think that's caused by two different things. One is the uncertainty around this situation in the Black Sea, Russia, Ukraine. A lot of people thought that if they even invaded, it would last 2 or 3 days. We're heading into the third month now, and I think that keeps uncertainty really high. Along with that, it's what does Putin plan to do? And we hear over the weekend that he's been bombing, ports along the southern coast, and even in Odessa, there could be some structural damage. And so that is a longer term problem. But in the meantime, you've just pushed a lot of traders out of the market. You're starting to have a thinly traded market, whether you look at wheat, corn, soybeans. People have kind of taken their ball and gone home. And so with that comes more volatility. And now we get into the weather uncertainty of our North American, Northern Hemisphere planting season. And I think that's causing more consternation in the market.
And we talked about a lot of these we've always called them black swans in the industry, right?
Yes.
Things that are unknown and things that could happen. But is there anything setting up to give us indications of direction? Because it seems to be flipping one side to the other, and even in the same day.
Yeah, the market's really following headlines, and when headlines come out that are positive, like we saw Indonesia talking about banning crude palm oil, and of course the market rallied. Then they clarified what they meant by that, and bean oil gave it all back. And so the market is just really sensitive to headlines, but I think its macro drivers are going to be the North American weather system that we see come in here for the 22 growing season, and then of course what's happening over in Russia and Ukraine. Those are going to be the main drivers. And when you look at weather even over there, if there was no war, there's some dryness that's approaching in those areas for the 22 growing season that one has to be concerned about. So I think weather will dominate. What do we grow? And then what's happening with the war for further logistical challenges. But don't forget, China's got a real problem with COVID and lockdowns, and that's making some of these supply chain shortages even worse.
Yeah, so many things to keep an eye on. Darren, sure appreciate you helping us out here on Ag Day. We'll be back with more coming up in just a minute.